Welcome back, everyone. Most of you guys haven't subscribed, but I put a lot of effort into making these videos, and I would highly appreciate if you guys would do that. So, something that makes your growth plates in bones multiply and lengthens bones, which means you get taller. And this is called IGF-1, and low IGF-1 means you will have a complete stunted growth cycle, and normal IGF-1 is equal to a normal height development. And on the other hand, high IGF-1 is equal to a better height development. You would have heard about insulin from old people, especially those dealing with diabetes. They can't risk missing even one single shot of insulin. That would explain how important it is for the human body. But they take it for a whole different reason, and you wouldn't need injecting that at all, unless you're obviously diabetic. It has insulin in its name because it looks and acts a bit like insulin, and scientists literally named it after insulin. But IGF-1 stands for insulin-like growth factor 1, that's the full form. But the main difference is that IGF-1 is responsible to drive growth in your body, and insulin's main job is to control blood sugar. I want to say that I'm not for using drugs for any kind of cosmetic reasons without the consultation of your doctors, but still for research purposes, I will be mentioning a drug-based approach to hacking insulin like growth factor 1 and how it's commonly used. But first, we will talk about the natural pathways to achieve the same results, almost the same results. Your liver is like a factory that pumps this stuff out, especially when growth hormone tells it to. Think of growth hormone as the boss and IGF-1 as the worker that actually gets things done. So growth hormone comes in, knocks on the liver door, and boom, IGF-1 production goes through the roof. But here's the wild part. Your IGF-1 levels aren't the same throughout your entire life. When you're a baby, they're pretty low, then puberty hits and they absolutely skyrocket, sometimes doubling or tripling. This is why teenagers steadily shoot up in height. Their bodies are literally flooded with this growth molecule. So there's this kind of milk that is very rarely found, and it's mostly in raw state. The surface part of the milk is like very solid and creamy, but it's also not like some kind of cheese or a butter. That type of milk is very high in IGF-1. It's mostly from the cow's milk and cow's milk, the colostrum. It's when the cows make it in the early growth stages for their babies. It's also very yellowish and kind of solid. It's so effective in raising our IGF-1 levels that WADA, an anti-drug administration, literally asked its athletes who they wanted to test for PEDs that they should stop taking colostrum so their IGF-1 results don't come in artificially spiked. That should tell you how strong of a natural PD colostrum actually is. And sleep, and I'm not talking about just any kind of sleep, deep sleep specifically. And when you hit that deep sleep stage, your brain releases massive amounts of growth hormone, which then signals your liver to make more IGF-1. And if you miss out on sleep and you're basically telling your body to stop growing, studies show that people who sleep only 5 hours have significantly lower IGF-1 than those who sleep around 8 to 9 hours a day. And the second one is a protein. Your body needs amino acids to build IGF-1, and protein is packed with them. Something like lean meat, eggs, fish. These are your best friends. And there is actually a specific amino acid called leucine that's basically powerful for triggering IGF-1 production. It's available in chicken, beef, and dairy. Then there's intense exercises, not just walking around. I'm talking about heavy resistance training and sprinting. So when you push your muscles hard, your body responds by releasing growth hormone and ramping up IGF-1 production. It's like your body says, okay, we need to get stronger to handle this kind of stress. You also need something like zinc and magnesiums. These minerals are absolutely important for IGF-1 production. Most people are deficient in both, especially zinc. I can't stress enough about zinc. It just changes everything. As zinc is found in oysters, red meat, and pumpkin seeds, and you can also find it in stores as a supplement. And magnesium is found in almonds and dark chocolate, and also as a standalone supplement. Now let's talk about the pharmaceutical side because this is where the things get absolutely insane. So there's a drug called Increlix, and it's literally pure IGF-1 in an injection. Doctors prescribe it to kids who have severe IGF-1 deficiency, kids whose bodies just don't make enough of it naturally. So these children who would otherwise stay extremely short their entire lives, when they start taking Increlix, their growth plates activate and they start growing at normal rate. It's like flipping a switch that their body forgot to turn on. But here's the catch. Increlix is one of the most expensive medications on the planet. You're talking about tens of thousands of dollars per month. But for these kids, insurance mostly covers it. If you can't do that, you can just go with a growth hormone. I'm not trying to say like buy growth hormone yourself and inject it. I'm just saying a good alternative would be growth hormone, which stimulates IGF-1 like a little bit of indirectly because you're injecting growth hormone and then a growth hormone later asks the liver to make IGF-1. So that's the difference. And then there's something called IGF-1 LR3, which is even more fascinating. This is a modified version of the regular IGF-1 that lasts way longer in your body. Normal IGF-1 breaks down in minutes, but LR3 stays active for hours, sometimes over a day. Bodybuilders got obsessed with this stuff because it's incredibly powerful for building muscle. It tells muscle cells to grow and multiply at an accelerated rate. But it's not FDA approved for human use and it's actually banned in sports because it gives such an extreme advantage. And IGF-1 LR3 is like a peptide and it's so powerful at even small doses that it can cause noticeable changes in muscle and bone tissue within weeks. People who have used it report gaining muscle faster than anything else they've tried. Like it's more potent than literal steroids. But uh, but with like great effectiveness, there also comes a lot of risk because when you flood your body with extra IGF-1, you're not just telling your muscles to grow; you're telling every cell to grow, and that includes cells you don't want to be growing, even like cancer cells and all that kind of cells. And here's a crazy fact: astronauts in space lose IGF-1 levels rapidly. Without gravity, their bodies don't need to maintain as much muscle and bone, so IGF-1 drops significantly. This is one reason why astronauts lose bone density and muscle mass so quickly in space. Scientists are actually researching whether giving astronauts exogenous IGF-1 and growth hormone to prevent this deterioration on long missions.